No, Celeste. Oh, sweetie. Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome back to the night generation of my Medieval Legacy Challenge. So, as you can see from the house shape, I did make some changes to address the issue we had of where we were going to put Mira, and also more broadly where we were going to put Eleanor because she was in a shoebox of a room. So, I've extended the second floor to basically give us a covered porch next to the front door. The roofline is a little weird. It's because that I couldn't have this bit here, like this bit extend up to here because it was cutting through on the other side of this and the paint didn't align with the bit it was underneath. And I couldn't have this bit go all the way to the edge here because it was cutting into this bit. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge, but it works. And it ticks my box of all roof lines have to slant towards the edge of the house, which I feel quite strongly about. I've redistributed the rooms a bit. So this is still the main room for Christina and Gerard. I've just extended it one tile this way here. So it's a bit of a weird shape. I've given Eleanor, instead of this tiny little room here, her room's a bit bigger and goes out to this way along the sort of new extension. Mira has a smaller room at the moment. They're very similar. It's just Eleanor's is a bit bigger because she's the actual heir as opposed to the visiting cousin. And I've extended Jacob's room a tile out this way so he has a bit more space because he was going to be in the smallest bedroom and he's out there and it seemed a bit weird. So the playroom is a bit smaller, but I think it's still okay. It should still fit 3 toddlers in it. We've got 1 toddler there, which is Jacob. Got a little bookshelf in this weird little corner here. And there you go. So that's the renovation. Now, it is the summer solstice, which is one of the annual sort of holidays that I set up when I first created this save file. The other thing that happened, and what happened was I started recording this episode and then it all went a bit wrong and it crashed but Gerard finished his aspiration. He only needed to get to Charisma level 10. He'd done everything else. And when he woke up this morning, I just had him park on the mirror for a bit. He just finished that. So it's unfortunate that I haven't captured that for you guys, but trust me, the footage was a hot mess. So you did not want to see it. My plan for this part is my plan and what I'm anticipating. My plan is that we're going to celebrate the solstice. I'm going to invite some of our cousins over. If you've seen the little short video that I posted of Roland's marriage, then I'm sure you can guess who. Just to catch you guys up, and I'll try and put a screenshot, if I remember, I'll put a screenshot up on screen for you. Roland was one of the 2 twin boys of Andrea and Colton. Andrea was the youngest child of our first gen sim. They had 3 kids. There was Rebecca, who was the eldest, and then they had twin boys. Roland has married Simone Kingler, now obviously Simone Dunham. She was the daughter of Finley Kingler and, indoorsy lifestyle. Really? For a night? I mean, okay. But Simone, her mum is Anne, who was Anne Honeycutt, who was the sister. Are you following all this? You're not. It's fine. If I knew how to, I'd overlay that thinking graphic that people use with all the formulas and stuff, because I do feel like you need to understand advanced science to track these family trees, or at least advanced, what is it called? Family treeology. Bear with me, you guys. Simone is first cousins with Christina, which is where I was kind of going with this. Roland is, I think, first cousins once removed-ish to Gerard, and Simone is first cousins to Christina, regardless of who her father is. So it's very confusing, but the upshot is that family are that household are very closely intertwined with this household in terms of cousins. And I figured that since Christina's taken Mira on and is saying she's a cousin, she probably actually wants to talk to Simone and kind of word her up on the situation and stuff. And we need to have parties anyway. Where'd my turkey go? It's not still in the oven, is it? I get so sad when this happens. It is. She didn't finish it and it's in the oven. There's no resume. Anyway, so Christina's up here checking on Mira, making sure she's settling in okay. I'm thinking she's going to reach out to Simone. She's going to reach out to Caiaphas, who is a cousin of her father's. So we're going to have These guys be the hosts. We'll invite the toddlers. I'm not inviting Celeste. I'm sorry, Celeste. I'm sorry. I'm not inviting Zachary. There's a reason. It's because Zachary is going to refuse to come. I'm going to say Celeste is the caterer. I figured, we're celebrating this solstice. She's cooking food again. Ooh, Mira's level 5 communication. Dawson's here. We might as well say, hey, we'll share the summer solstice spirit. Oh my gosh, look at these 2 little beans. I'm going to have Eleanor shower her baby brother in love. She actually just needs a little bit more movement. And she will be level 5s and everything, which is setting her up pretty well as a sim, I have to say. We're going to introduce ourselves to our cousin, apparently. Hi, Roland, thanks for coming. And Roland's offering Zachary's apologies. He's saying Zachary's been in a bit of a mood recently, so he stayed home to look after the animals and has sent his apologies. I think Gerard's a bit worried to hear this. He's like, well, that's, I wonder what's going on with Zachary, if everything's okay. I'm just checking on Celeste, who's doing that thing that the Sims do when they're catering. Jacob can talk already. Well, he's going to be a priest, so that's actually good. So yeah, the fellas are all catching up in here. Gerard is, introducing his son to his cousin and his friend. I'm actually going to get Jacob in particular to talk to both of them, just because you kind of want your heir to know as many people as possible. Oh, I meant to edit his eye colour. Lady Sweetheart commented, and I agree, it would be nice if I could give him like an aquary kind of bluey green colour that's like a mix of the parents. That would be quite cute. I think this one. We'll go with that. So all the blokes are upstairs and all the women are in the kitchen, except Christina, who I've just told to come in here because I wanted her to talk to Simone. But I'm not super loving the cliche. Also, Rebecca, you're meant to be waiting for the grand meal, which I'm sure at some point Celeste will finish. She's not going to finish it, is she? I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why this is happening over and over. That's 2 grand meals I've failed at now. One of the reasons, obviously, she's really mad at the moment. Hello? That's directly counter to what I was trying to say there, lady. One of the reasons I wanted Rebecca to come over here was I was kind of planning ahead because Celeste doesn't have long. When I say that, like it could happen today. Rebecca, in theory, despite the glaring that she's currently doing, potentially could move in to help with the kids and stuff. I mean, I do think she probably would want a maid, but once the toddlers are all children, I think maybe it will be less necessary. All right, I'm going to get everyone to come down here and eat, and we'll maybe put some music on, do a little bit of dancing, the usual. I do need to get these toddlers to bed. It's getting quite late. No, Celeste. Oh, sweetie. Oh, Celeste. You were very good to us. She worked herself to death for a party. She put him on the potty and then fell over. Oh my goodness. Well, can I keep the toddlers from seeing? That's my priority. All of the Sims who could potentially do anything are downstairs. Christina's angry because Rebecca was being mean. I wanted Rebecca to move in. I wonder how long before the Sims will notice. It's weird, right? Grim's up here. He's done the thing. None of my Sims have noticed. Oh my gosh, and Jacob can now use the potty because Celeste is just that good. Oh, see, now she's sad. She just suddenly had this awareness. I kind of want Christina to have a chance to talk to her cousin about the situation with Mira and Cherish and all of it. She's feeling quite angry though because obviously Rebecca was pretty rude. Okay. Well, obviously he would see at that point. Poor little Jacob. I'm going to actually say mourn for him because this all happened for him, like in front of him. Well, it was a party at least. Yes, it was. I'm going to get him to quickly whisk Jacob to bed. Simone is showing signs of the hero archetype. Oh, they just got a negative sentiment. Christina thinks Simone is stuck up, and whatever the first impression Simone got towards Christina has been overridden by a grudge. Christina, you need to stop. I actually wanted you guys to be friends. Let's gossip, and that could be her explaining. Sweetie, you gotta go to bed. Or you could sleep on the floor, that's fine. Jacob is also asleep on the floor. I'm gonna send Simone home. That did not go the way I thought it would, I have to say. So he's basically saying, look, something's happened, sweetheart. I didn't want to tell you in the middle of the party, but I found Celeste. And she's like, what do you mean you found Celeste? Is she okay? And he's explaining, no, she's not. She was up here on her own and maybe her heart gave out or, basically explaining what happened. This party sucked. Doesn't say I have to host a successful party, I suppose, just a party. So he's like, you know, she had a good life. Christina's like, but I feel like she didn't get to rest at all. Oh, that was awkward. You know, I feel like she didn't get to rest at all. You know, she was working for us and helping us out, and I feel terrible. You know, she was so good to me when I was a baby and like a small child, and I feel like I should have sort of supported her just to relax. I would use the word retire, but I feel like it wouldn't have been in the vocabulary. Gerard's saying, look, before she came to live with us, she was living in a boarding house with a bunch of other single women, and, you know, there were rats there, and like it wasn't a very nice place. By bringing her into our family, you gave her as good a life as you could. In the context of medieval times, it's kind of true. She gave Celeste a good position. She like didn't work her too hard. But they're going to have a conversation about this situation, because the problem I think we're going to have is this house and 3 toddlers. Even though Eleanor's going to age up, still 2 toddlers and a child. I feel like it's too much for her on her own. It's the same reason I moved Celeste in the first place. Gerard is pondering this. He's actually thinking about Rebecca because he was talking to Roland. Roland was saying now that Simone has moved in, Rebecca's feeling a little bit sort of fifth wheel to the family. Like, Simone stepped in, she's doing all the things Rebecca used to do for the brothers, like the cooking and the cleaning, and it's not that Rebecca and Simone don't get on, but he thinks Rebecca's feeling a little bit kind of dispossessed. And it's not a big house. Their house, that was like a fishing trading family, not grand nobility. That's probably why Rebecca was in such a foul mood. Look, I don't know why the Sim was in a foul mood, she just was, but that is my story reason for why Rebecca was in such a foul mood. Like, you know, she got invited as the +1 to her brother and his new wife, and is feeling very not part of the cool club kind of thing. Oh my God, and this is broken too. He's working through a giant list of chores right now and thinking about how they can't do this on their own. It's like, this is too much. This is too much for Christina, and I can't be here all the time. He's being the best husband he can be here right now. The other thing is that Christina can't cook. Her cooking is like level 1. She just never learned. I mean, she's a noble's daughter. She's always had maids, even though one of them was Cherish. So look how that worked out. But she's always had maids, and she's just never learned. She's getting decent parenting skill, and she's great at knitting. Her parenting's up to level 4. Her knitting's actually maxed out. I think she's probably going to feel a bit judged by that observation on his side, though. I'm going to have them have a conversation. He's increasingly feeling overwhelmed with the amount of chores there are. He starts work in an hour and he hasn't even had breakfast yet, and he's been up really quite a long time. Basically, they're going to have a conversation about her thoughts on whether she thinks we need to get someone else in to help with the children and everything. And she's like, look, it's a good idea, but who on earth would we get? So he's like, hey, so, you know, I was talking to Roland and he mentioned the situation with Rebecca and Simone and how Rebecca's maybe feeling a little bit disenfranchised by the situation, and we now have a possibility of offering Jacob, just in the interest of not having our heir taken away. That would be a disaster. So Christina's not very excited at the idea of hiring Rebecca, but I think she can probably see the merits of getting someone in. So obviously that conversation was very truncated. I'm going to say that she agreed to think about it, basically. That he's using his diaper. Great. Oh, she wants to read the holy book. Actually, that's a great idea. So I'm going to get her to discover religion, because then she can teach him. This is a mod. I think I mentioned it a couple of parts ago. It's by Lumpenow. Christina has discovered religion and can now join a faith. Here is what she learned in the intro of the book. There are 4 sim religions: the congregation of non-believers, the cult of the cowplant, the worship of the watcher, and the treaders of the occult. She may join either of these or give up faith at any time by going to the religions menu. All right, well, I'm going to have her join worship of the watcher, because it's, I think, the closest to the kind of one true faith style religion. So if I go religion, religious status, select a faith. Some Sims believe they are never alone, but always under the mighty eye of the Watcher. Fickle and unpredictable is the Watcher, at times looking on with fondness and granting sins their every whim and desire, other times casting an angry eye onto their lives, removing ladders from swimming pools, breaking relationships, or pushing them to work on a skill to exhaustion. I'm sorry, Celeste. Benevolent or merciless is the Watcher. Of course, Sims that believe in it do their best to attract to themselves its more generous side. They try to behave as well as they can and clean their plates instead of leaving them on the table. They believe that the watcher likes to see them create, therefore creativity is their favored way to honour their deity. They see occult creatures as a form of evil, for they embody the darker sides of the watcher. Oh, this is going to make some spice in the family with some spellcasters. So I'm going to have her choose that. It's just the one that I think makes the most sense. Once she's done that, she's going to give a bath to Jacob. Oh, someone wants to buy a onesie. Jacob! You get religion and look what happens. I mean, she did say creativity, right? Please ask not to make a mess. I think this is good though. It will reinforce to her that perhaps she needs help. Poor Christina, it's like almost 3 p.m. and she's just gotten to sit down. So I'm just going to have little Eleanor come out here. These guys are both playing with toys. I was a bit worried that she'd get like jealous and not want them to play with her toys. But she doesn't seem to be, which is great. I mean, she's feeling very sad, but that's because of what happened with Celeste, not because she's upset or anything, which is good. I was a bit worried. All right, so Gerard has come home, which is great. I'm going to get you to come in and see your wife. She is going to go and visit Rebecca. She can't obviously bring Gerard with her, which would make this way less awkward because someone needs to stay with the toddlers. He'll be like, oh no. Thing is, he's got the easy run of it. They've all been fed. They've all been washed. They've all been to the potty recently. They're all just playing. So this is the lot that it was originally from the gallery, and I think I added that. I added a little outhouse because we just had too many Sims here. But it's largely as per what I got in the gallery. So I'll just show you guys real quick. It's quite cute. We have been here before, but not for a long time. So this was Andrea and Colton's bed. The boys shared this room, and Rebecca, this is her room. Zachary's still in this room. I'm gonna have Christina. Let's be flattering. Your cousin said a lot of kind things about you, and you know, we want to get to know her. She doesn't know this is a job interview. We'll show appreciation to our host. If I could get them to be friends, I feel like that would probably be enough, right? So she's asking, you know, is anyone courting her right now? And Rebecca's saying no and apologising, maybe because she's in a much better mood. She's apologising for her behaviour when she came over. We'll share some people person tips to give her some advice. Oh, look at Zachary's come over here. He's in a good mood too. The thing with Zachary, and the reason he didn't come over, he's a very farm animal oriented sim. And he didn't really want to leave. He's also gloomy. It was a random trait that he got. So sometimes he just gets overwhelmed with melancholy and doesn't want to leave the house. Too full of yourself from interacting. This other sim's airs of being full... I can't stop doing that. Of being full of themselves and not gaining them any favours in Dame Christina's eyes. So she thinks Rebecca's full of herself. I mean, that is the first impression she got, I guess. But I'd like her to get over it. First impressions is a great mod, but when you're trying to like progress a story, it's a bit tricky. We kind of want to ask her a favour because they're like, why are you here? Ask about her career. She does actually have a job because this is quite a poor household. Like not super poor, but you know, they all have to work. It's one of those families where everyone has to contribute. Simone actually isn't at the moment. She's tending to the house. Rebecca has a job kind of doing what Rose did. She's working at the local tavern. I want to ask her to move in. It'd be good if I could do it via their interaction, but I'm not sure we're going to have it as an option. Poor Rebecca, her parents had their kids really late and she ended up, because they became elders when she was a teen and then passed away when she was a teen, she ended up having to raise her brothers, and I think that's part of why she's feeling so strange now about the situation. She's sort of their de facto mother, but also doesn't have any of the like influence of a mother. Christina's like saying, honestly, I'm going to ask for help cleaning. She's like, I need your help. And Gerard said to come over and talk to you. And explaining about how Celeste passed away last night. And Rebecca's like shocked by this because Celeste, when she last saw her, seemed okay. And she's basically saying, look, I've got 3 toddlers in the house. Eleanor's a delight, but there's limits to what she can do. And I can't run the house on my own. And Gerard said that, you know, you were used to running this house for your brothers and you were maybe feeling a little bit like not sure what to do now that Roland is married. Would you like to join our family and help with my kids and stuff? Okay, we should just be able to pop her across. I'm not going to transfer any money because this is an employment situation. We know she's clumsy, perfectionist, active. Now, in terms of skills, she's fitness level 9, handiness level 4, knitting level 4 begrudgingly. It was one of those things she learned because that's what girls do, not because she enjoyed it. She's got... Does she have any parenting? Oh, parenting level 1. I think the kids were old enough when she sort of took over the household. So I'm going to get her to give her brother a hug. These guys are making out, so maybe we'll leave them to it. Cool. And then I'm going to take them home. I'm not imagining Rebecca will be living with us long term. I have some thoughts about where her story could go. I kind of just wanted to bring the Dunhams. I felt like the Dunhams were a little bit the outliers of Olivia's original kids, because obviously we visit the farm a lot. We visit Desiree and Oliver a lot. Isabella's not with us anymore, but we visited Martha a lot. Obviously the main family being Vivienne, Genevieve, Gerard, all of those guys a lot. So I did want to bring Rebecca back into the story and the rest of the family back into the story a bit. Oh, baby Jacob, you're hungry. Can you get downstairs? Yeah. I really need to get his movement skill up. I've mentioned this already. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I think Rebecca's going to help us out for a little while, at least until the kids are a bit older. Like, I'm thinking when Jacob's a child, we'll kind of reassess. His birthday is here. So it's only like 5 days. What did my Sims do while I was out? Gerard, you had one job. He's like, I want to go on a holiday. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Let me know what you guys think. Honestly, my Sims made it harder for me than I wanted it to be, but I thought it was a good way to bring the Dunhams back into it, basically. And Rebecca has got nowhere to go at the moment. Like, no one's courting her. She's kind of escaped notice from the eligible bachelors on the Crumbling Isle. I expect she's in her, like, late 20s, which is quite old to get married in medieval times. So I'll leave this one here. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.